If you think men only crave love and respect, you've been told a half-truth. This isn't one of those romantic fairy tales where everything can be solved with affection and candlelight dinners. Because men, real men, don't walk around dreaming of roses and long text messages. What they crave is far rarer, things most women never even think to give. So, if you came here looking for another self-help pat on the back, you might feel a little uncomfortable. But if you want to understand what truly drives men to stay, to open up, and to love with depth and loyalty, then stay with me. What you're about to hear might sting, but it will also change the way you see love forever. Let's begin with the first need, the need to feel capable, not corrected. Imagine two men. Same looks, same charm, same job. The first one is with a woman who constantly says, "Are you okay? What's wrong? You're so quiet." The second one is with a woman who simply says, "I trust you'll handle it. You always do." Guess which man feels 10 feet tall? It's not about being loved. It's about being respected as competent. When a man feels that his woman sees him as capable, that belief becomes fuel. It makes him want to rise higher, to become the man she already believes he is. But when she treats him like he's fragile or constantly needs fixing, his confidence begins to shrink. He starts to see himself through her worry, her corrections, her doubt. The difference is subtle but powerful. One woman treats him like a project, the other treats him like a protector. Here's the secret truth most women miss. Men equate love with significance. If you make him feel needed but not nagged, trusted but not tested, he will give you everything. But if he feels constantly analyzed or corrected, he will begin to withdraw. Not physically at first, but emotionally. You'll feel the silence before you understand it. For men, validation isn't words, it's permission. Permission to be himself without being fixed. Think of it like emotional oxygen, invisible but vital. The irony is that many women unknowingly suffocate the very connection they want to deepen. They say, "Why won't you open up?" While their energy says, "I don't trust your strength." The woman who believes in him, even when he's struggling, inspires him to rise. The woman who micromanages his emotions slowly becomes noise he wants to escape. Men fall in love with women who see them as strong even on their weakest days. Here's a thought to hold close. When your man struggles, do you trust his process or do you micromanage his pain? Do you let him solve things in his own time or do you hover like a motivational coach trying to fix what's not yours to fix? Because the woman who gives him space without withdrawal, faith without force, and support without control becomes unforgettable. A man's love language isn't just affection, it's acceptance. The world constantly tells him to perform, to compete, to win. When he comes home, he doesn't want another battlefield. He wants peace. He wants to drop the sword, even if only for a moment. So the question isn't, does he love me? It's, does he feel safe enough with me to stay open? Or does my love make him defensive? In every man's mind, there's a quiet scoreboard, peace versus pressure. Whoever wins that balance wins his heart long-term. Men will stay in exhausting jobs, in draining environments, even in chaos, because those places still make them feel useful. But they will leave a relationship that constantly questions them, even if it's filled with love, because love without respect makes them feel small. So next time you catch yourself saying, "I'm just trying to help," pause. Help is beautiful until it starts to feel like doubt in disguise. Let's move to the second need, the need for freedom without distance. Many women confuse freedom with detachment. But for men, space isn't rejection. It's recovery. Their emotions don't reset through talking the way women's do. They reset through silence, solitude, and doing something that has nothing to do with feelings. Fixing a car, watching a game, sitting in silence. To you, it might look like he's ignoring you. To him, it's how he breathes. If you chase him during that process, his brain doesn't register it as love. It reads it as "I can't breathe." Because for a man, space is how he returns to himself. It's how he rebalances his emotions before reconnecting. The men who come back stronger aren't the ones who never need space. They're the ones whose women give it without making them feel guilty. Picture two relationships. In the first, a man goes quiet for a day and his girlfriend bombards him with, "Where are you? Why aren't you texting? Are you mad at me?" In the second, the woman says, "I hope you had time to clear your head. Come here." Same situation, different outcome. One woman feels like a parole officer, the other feels like home. Guess which one he'll keep coming back to, again and again. Because when a man finds a woman who doesn't make him prove his love every time he needs silence, he feels emotionally safe. Freedom is not the opposite of love. It's one of its deepest expressions. The woman who understands this doesn't chase attention. She attracts devotion. Nothing says "I trust you" louder than "I trust you enough to let you breathe." This brings us to the third need, the need for respected competence, not managed compliance. If love is the fuel, respect is the oil. Without it, everything burns out. Many women say they respect their man, but the moment he does something differently, the coaching begins. Tutorials, instructions, suggestions, and subtle corrections. Men are allergic to managed compliance. They'll lift mountains for a woman who believes in them, but they'll withdraw from the one who treats them like a student. A man doesn't need you to agree with everything he does. He needs you to assume competence as the default, to believe that he knows what he's doing, even if his way looks different from yours. Here's a small story. Two women, same goal, planning a weekend trip. The first says, "I'll handle it. You'll forget something." The trip happens, but he feels like a passenger. The second says, "You pick the place, I'll bring snacks." He plans it, he beams with pride, and he talks about it all week. The trip is the same, but the energy is completely different. The first man felt managed, the second felt trusted. When you correct his plan, he hears you don't believe in me. When you ask for his plan, he hears you trust my leadership. The difference between compliance and competence is the difference between a boy trying to please you and a man trying to protect you. When you treat him like he's capable, he becomes capable. When you treat him like he needs control, he shuts down. So be honest with yourself. When he starts doing something, do you immediately jump in with the better way? If your first instinct is to correct, pause. Let him figure it out his way. Let him feel proud of himself for getting it done. That moment of pride is rocket fuel for his devotion, because a man's deepest need isn't perfection in his partner. It's the feeling that he can succeed around her. Now, let's bring all three needs together. Men crave peace over pressure, trust over control, respect over instruction. When he feels seen as strong, trusted to breathe, and admired for his competence, he becomes loyal beyond measure. And here's the beauty of it all. When a woman learns to meet these needs, she doesn't lose power. She gains it. Because she becomes rare. She becomes the calm in a world that demands his strength. She becomes the woman he protects, provides for, and adores, not because he has to, but because he wants to. So remember this. Men don't fall in love with women who give them everything they ask for. They fall in love with the woman who gives them what they did and even know they were missing: belief, space, respect. And when you give a man those three things, when you make him feel trusted, free, and capable, he will do anything to keep that feeling alive. Because in a world full of judgment, noise, and pressure, the woman who gives him peace becomes his home.